We're now ready to make the association between our item model and our category model. But before we do that, we need to make sure our database has the field for the foreign key. I'm currently in the catalog database in the items table. I have added a new field called category_ID. This will hold our foreign key to the categories table. Now for CakePHP, the proper naming convention, you'll take the table name and singularize it. So in this case, categories is the table, and in singular form it becomes category. And then you add on the _ID, all lowercase. If we go to browse the contents of our items table, you'll note that I've already set two of the category _IDs on two of my items in my table. I've set them to the exact same category ID. I have a 2 here, and I have a 2 down here. Let's go over to NetBeans. I've already opened up my catalog project, and I have a file already open. This is the view template in the items folder. At the top, I'm printing out my item variable. This is the item variable that's being passed to the view, so let's go see what this looks like. So any of these titles have a link to my view, so I'll go ahead and click on the first one, and you'll see my variable being printed at the top. Now let's go ahead and associate our item table to our category table. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my item model that I've already opened up, and in here I want to make a public variable. Since the item model holds the foreign key, category_ID, it acts as the child to the category item association. So since it's the child, we're going to say that it belongs to, and then we're going to set it to category. Now the string value is the model name, not the database name. So let's switch back over to our website. I'm going to stay in the same view, and I'm going to hit refresh. You'll now see CakePHP has added on the other model information to this view. We can now display extra information about our item, including the category that the item belongs to. Let's go ahead and display this information in our view. So right under the title, we'll just make another paragraph tag. And I'm just going to copy this variable and paste it here. So we would change this item to be category, the name of the model, and then for our second key in the array, we would specify the field name from the database we would like to display. In this case, we want the category name, and the field in the database is name. Now we have our variable set to display what category this item belongs to. I'm going to go ahead and delete our printing of our variable, and if we go back to our website and we hit refresh, you'll see our new information is being displayed here on our page. Now let's go over to the categories list. We're now here at our categories page, which lists all the categories that we have in our application. Over in NetBeans, I've added to the view a printing of the category variable. So let's go see that in action. I'm back here at the categories list. I'm just going to click on the view button. Here at the top, you'll see our variable being printed out. Let's go ahead and make an association from the category model to the item model. I already have my category model open, and I'm just going to type public. Now in this case, our category has many items. So we're going to use the has many association type. And again, I'll type in the model name, not the table name, which is item. Switch back over to our website. We're still in the view of our category. This category happens to have an ID of 2. If you'll remember in the database, I've set the category ID to 2 here and a 2 here. So when I actually hit refresh on this, we now see those two items being pulled in because we've associated the category model to the item model. In this view page, we don't need to have any additional information from our item array. Now let's go back to our category model. We were able to create our database from the ground up with the proper CakePHP naming conventions, but sometimes we inherit a database that doesn't have those proper CakePHP naming conventions. Since we didn't inherit our database and we did create it from the ground up, we're able to have simple association strings. We don't have to pass in any extra information informing CakePHP of the associations between the category and the item model. But if for some reason we did inherit a database that didn't have the proper naming conventions, we would probably create a has many variable that looked a little similar to this. So I have my public has many, and then we set it to an associative array where item is our key, and then we set the value to another associated array. and inside of that, we declare what the class name is, and in this case, the class name would be the item class from the item model. So if we go over here to the item model, you'll see our class name is item. So if for some reason we had a database that was named differently, we would enter in this class name. And then we would designate what the foreign key would be. In this case, we are setting it to category_ID. Let's comment out our first has_many variable. Now each of these variables are in essence the same. So if we go back over to our website and hit refresh, we'll see the exact same information. You'll notice it didn't change. You can see how important the CakePHP naming conventions are in saving time as you create your web application. We're going to remove this detailed variable, and we'll just keep our simple declaration for our association type to the item model. We have successfully added an association from our category model to our item model, and from our item model back to our category model.